So, welcome back everyone, and today we are here with our second video on this course about Langchain. So, in the last video, we covered in detail the use of Langchain, why it has turned out to be such a famous framework, the different components of Langchain, as well as we covered schemas, which is the first component of Langchain in detail. So today we're going to be talking about the second component of Langchain, which is models. So now everyone has been hearing about ChatGPT, right? And also some other models which have recently been come into use, such as Llama. So now, what are these models actually? So let's take a deeper dive into this. So we can categorize these models into three types. First are the large language models, then second are the chat models, and third are the text embedding models. Okay, so basically a language model or a large language model is a machine learning model that processes and generates human-like text based on patterns that it has learned from various amounts of large textual data. And it's called as a large language model because if it has been trained on millions or billions of tokens or words, the amount of training size that has been used is large and therefore it's called as a large language model. Next, talking about chat models. So, chat models have been built on top of the large language models only, and they are a specialized type of the language models which are curated for generating conversational responses and engaging in text based interactions with the users. So basically, when you want a chatbot or if you've used a chatbot, it's basically very similar to a chat model. It is a conversation between an AI system and a human. Okay, talking about the next time, which is the text embedding model. So the third type of model that we will be talking about is the text embedding, and these models, they take in the text as the input and they return a list of numbers. So the question that you might ask over here is that why do we require these text embedding models? Because our LLM is able to understand text. So why do we need to create numbers? So the reason for that being there are many applications in generative AI which are centered around semantic search or if you semantic search in simpler words means if you want to find out how similar two sentences are. So this we do when we convert each of these sentences into embeddings, and after converting each of these sentences into embeddings, we use a function like cosine similarity to check how similar these two sentences are. So cosine similarity will return a value something between 0 and 1, telling us that these sentences are these much percent similar to each other. Okay, so that's why we require these text embedding models. Now that we have understood these models, let's go on to the coding section and get a hands-on tutorial. Okay, so there are three types of models are language, chat and embedding models as discussed. Some of the prerequisites are that you require the installation of OpenAI, Langchain as well as tick token for this. Then we basically import the OpenAI library and pass in the OpenAI key over here. So first, let's talk about the language model. So we are going to be importing the OpenAI language model from langchain.llms, and then we're going to be instantiating the OpenAI with passing in the OpenAI key as well as setting the temperature to 0. So now there are many models that have been provided by the OpenAI as we can see on this page. So we have the GPT 3.5 Turbo, we have the GPT 3.5 Turbo 16K, and there are many other models like GPT-4 that have also been provided. So the default model that we use is the Text DaVinci 003 model. Then we pass in our prompt to the LLM model, such as tell me the days of the week, and this is the answer that we get. Next, we also ask it a joke on lions, and this is the response that we get from the LLM model. I have also again asked a joke on lions just to show you all that because the temperature setting was set to 0, both of the answers that we got were exactly similar. Then after that, let's do another thing. Let's just change the temperature setting to 0.7. So the answer that we get right now is basically a different response. That what did the lion say when he saw his reflection in the mirror? Okay, now we can also use the LLM.generate function if we want to pass in a list of the queries to the large language model. So over here I have passed in 4 queries. So first is tell me a joke, tell me a poem, again tell me a joke, and tell me a poem. So you will see that basically the first, so this is the LLM result that you get, and when I'm visualizing the first result, this is the response that I get from the LLM. So again, it is going to be a different response each time because our temperature setting is set to 0.7. Next, we move on to the chat models. So in the last video, we discussed chat models, right? So that is, we have the AI message, the system message, as well as the human message. So now over here, you can see that I am querying my messages into the chat model. So my system message is that you're a helpful assistant that give answers only in a single line. And the human message is that tell me about skies. So in general, if you would have seen in ChatGPT, if you ask it a question, it's very descriptive and it will give you long paragraphs. But now over here, because I've already told the system that I want my answers only in a single line, the answers I will be getting is only going to be in a single line for that reason. Now let's go on and talk about the AI message. Okay, so now over here I have declared a system message which tells it that you're a nice bot that helps the user to figure out where to travel in a short line. And in human message is that I would like the beaches, where should I go? So now over here we have also written the AI message. Why have we written the AI message over here? Is because we want the system to understand that we are expecting such an AI message from it. Therefore, we have also declared a AI message over here. Finally, to ask another question, we have a human message, that is what else should I do when I'm there. So this is the corresponding AI message that we receive. Okay, so now let's move on to the embedding models. So the embedding models that over here are before that. First, let's understand we have the text over here. We have an embedding model and it is going to be creating numbers, which is going to be generating text as a vector. So OpenAI has provided for 4 embedding models, which are Ada, DaVinci, Curie, and Babbage, and you can see the performance of all of these models. So Ada is supposed to be having very good efficiency in creating text embeddings. So now over here I'm going to be using the OpenAI embeddings and I'm going to instantiate an object of the OpenAI embeddings, going to be passing in the OpenAI key. This is the text which I want to embed and I'm going to be using the embed query function to embed my text. You can see that the embeddings has been created and the length of these embeddings is 1536. So with this we come to the end of the text embedding as well, and also the models component in our course on Langchain. So I hope you found this insightful, and please feel free to drop any of your questions or doubts in the comment section. We'll be very happy to answer them, and thank you so much for watching this.